Namaste, Chairman of the National Commission for Women, Srimati Rekha Sharma ji, Excellency Ambassador of India, Dr. Neena Malhotra ji in Italy, Narendra ji, Shanoy ji, all other dignitaries present who are from India and from Italy as well, Professor from the University of Naples, and ladies and gentlemen. While observance of International Women's Day has become a routine, we believe that this is an occasion in a way to introspect, to reflect upon, and to rededicate ourselves to the larger cause of human equality. Because many times societies are evaluated without taking into consideration the fact that there are certain societies which are civilizational societies like what we have in India. And therefore, the kind of foreign aggressions that we braved, the kind of scars that we even now carry, and the kind of struggle that we had to wage for centuries together is easily forgotten, and such traditional civilizational societies are compared with other societies, which I believe is not doing justice. And therefore, International Women's Day, it's something for India as well and the Indian society to once again commit all of us to the larger cause of human equality, of which gender equality is an important segment. Let me reflect upon, if I may say so, the essentially Indian view of women empowerment. As a student of social science, I believe there are 5 important pillars of the Indian vision of women empowerment. Firstly, it is ensuring equality of dignity, equality of opportunity, and equality of security, which I believe is the right definition of gender equality. Because simply providing a secure environment for women, although very, very essential, very fundamental, but perhaps not enough. Simply, if a woman starts earning money, may not give her the place of dignity, a dignified life. And all these things are combined. And therefore, we cannot have a skewed or a compartmental view of equality between men and women. And therefore, equality of dignity, equality of opportunity, and equality of security, I believe, are the fundamental principles of gender equality. And I'm really happy to share that slowly but certainly it is happening in India. While it is a fact that in many countries, many democracies, many advanced and modern democracies of the world, women got the right to vote much later than the men. In India, the last year, in fact, marked the 100 years of the beginning of voting practices in India. It was in 1920 that the first election happened under the British rule. But even at that point of time, Indian women voted. Nothing could come in our way of equality of opportunity to vote, to elect our representatives. And today, we have come a long way. In many states in India, it has now become a practice that when a child is admitted to a school or when a grown-up person comes out of the university getting a degree, his admission certificate in the school or his degree certificate, which he gets from the university, now has a provision of putting two names as middle names, the name of his mother, his or her mother, and the name of his or her father as well. This is not a small thing. This is equality of dignity, because after all, the upbringing of an individual is more thanks to his or her mother. And therefore, the supremely important role played by women as mothers is in a way recognized through giving a space of dignity, respect, not only in discussions and lectures, but also on the degree certificate. It may sound as a token, as something like tokenism, but I believe it has a deeper meaning. The second pillar, and which I believe is the most important pillar of women empowerment, as I understand, is ensuring a drastic change in the male mindset, traditional male mindset. Because women empowerment, or rather the key to women empowerment, as I understand, lies in transformation in the thinking of the men of the world. Unless and until we do that, we work towards that, we strive for that, truly speaking, women empowerment cannot become a reality. And I'm happy that the Indian narrative about women empowerment finds these kinds of issues figuring prominently. As far back as some 50 years before, when a Gandhian scholar and a close accomplice of Mahatma Gandhi, Acharya Dada Dharmadhikari, in a beautifully told story, explained as to why this is required. And he tells the message coming from a Gandhian was that now, with the advancement of industrialization and women entering into several such spheres which were earlier considered as the domains of men only, women flying aeroplanes, women fighting elections, women fighting with other men as becoming an army person. So there is practically no areas where women are not present today. Dharmadhikari says, if women has made a space of their own in the traditionally held areas by men, it is now for men to go to enter into those areas which were traditionally considered as women-only areas, whether it is taking care of families or taking care of kids or even working in the kitchen. And now it is for men to ensure that they also share with their women partners in all these activities. I think a message coming from a Gandhian some 50 years before is the key to the true and practical approach towards gender equality. The third pillar, as I understand, is greater democratization of a family. Our families provide a security cover, not just to men, but women as well. And in India, traditionally, we find that there are several families, or rather, I would say, majority of the families that are women-led families. Technically, men might be considered as heads of families, That is because of our traditional mindset. But in practice, it is the women who are leading the families. They are the decision makers, or rather the decision influencers, if I may put it that way. And let me also mention over here that Indian families are representative of the democratic spirit that will live in India. In India, our relationships are such that we value individuality and we also do not undermine the importance of collectivism. And that is what makes families in India more democratic. But I would say that greater democratization of families is the third important pillar of women empowerment. The fourth is absolute rejection of commodification of women. Unfortunately, today's world of, let's say, advertisements, all other commercial activities, market-driven economy, all these factors are contributing, unfortunately and sadly, to the commodification of women. I believe the earlier we wake up to this reality and take some corrective action, the better for true gender justice and equality between men and women. And therefore, rejecting commodification is the fourth important key to women empowerment. The fifth key is the understanding that women issues are not of women alone. They are of the entire society. In fact, I remember having read a report by a study group which assessed the performance of women and child development committees in several local self-government bodies in India, where traditionally the men who are at the commanding positions offer in a very condescending manner the positions in the Women and Child Development Committee to all the women members, as if it is only for women to take care of women and children issues. And in fact, a study report suggested whether there could be a reverse quota for men, compelling men also to take care of women and children related issues, because women and children related issues are not only of women. I'm happy that the Women Commission, which is headed by Srimati Rekha Sharma, also has a provision that there could be men as members of the National Commission of Women. And I believe earlier also there were men members in the commission, and today also perhaps there is one member who is a male member of the Women Commission. So this is again, I believe, an important part of it. I remember that a woman Dalit entrepreneur has come out with a technological innovation to do away with manual scavenging, which unfortunately continues in certain parts of India even today. And it was a Dalit woman entrepreneur who came out with solutions, and today she has become a big business person. She has offered some technology and created some businesses out of her efforts to put an end to manual scavenging. This can come only from women because they are definitely more sensitive than their male counterparts. Lastly, I must add here that the traditional Indian approach towards gender justice, I believe, rejects the man versus woman binary. Because we believe that as a society, we are all one and we have to work together and find solutions together and face the challenges also together. And therefore, the traditional Western idea of liberating women or women liberty, I believe, requires revisiting. Because in India, we consider women as liberators, and those who are already liberating the society, how can we liberate them? And I'm not saying this simply to give a particular approach. I believe that it's a fact that women can liberate the society, and for the society, and more importantly for the men, is to recognize this fact that women are the liberators, and therefore salute their efforts for the liberation of society. To that end, I believe Indian culture and the way at the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, we are trying to create a proper understanding about Indian culture among the global community, definitely will have this particular subject prominently figuring on our agenda. At this International Women's Day, I offer my greetings not only to women, but to men as well, because it is together we are celebrating the International Women's Day. Thank you very much.